Jezz Gasoline. I got the king of New York drill.
That's
Welcome
a
to the
fact.
channel.
That's me. What's going on?
Man, I
Mikey T,
appreciate
what's
you.
up, bro? It's a pleasure.
Nah, I appreciate you joining me today, man. That's a hell of a moniker. I gotta ask you, how did you come up with that? The King of New York Drill. It's a big title. We've had the King of the South, T.I. We've had the King of Philly, that's Gilly. But now we've got the King of New York Drill.
Yeah, man. I mean, like it felt good, to have that title, but the title came about, it kind of just like fell in line. Like it wasn't nothing that I really like thought about hard on. It was just like, I felt like it speaks for itself. Like as far as like the whole drill music in Brooklyn, and then it just kind of capitalized for New York because I feel like I opened the doors where the ears was like put towards like Brooklyn and New York. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's like, it could have been somebody that did it before. You know how it go. But I'm the reason why everybody paid attention to what's going on, like with the drill music and shit. You feel me? Like, and then like I actually live what I rap about. So it's like, everything just came together. Like, yo, I'm the king of drill. This is mine.
So can you take me into your early life a little bit? Tell me how it was actually growing up in Brooklyn.
Growing up in Brooklyn was, young. My childhood life, was kind of like, it was kind of rough, as far as like, being in the hood. I was a part of gangs, shit like that, hood shit, like since young, you feel me? So I really didn't enjoy, like, I didn't have like a normal childhood like everybody else really, like a few other people probably had, but it was rough, but I'm definitely feel like surviving that, I could survive anywhere, you feel me? Whoa.
Yeah, man. I feel like the majority of the hottest rappers coming out are from Brooklyn as of late. How did you get your first opportunity when it comes to music, coming from Brooklyn?
My first big opportunity, because I was rapping for a while. I was rapping like for a little minute, but I started taking it serious around like 2016. I did a song called Big Ops and shit, and the shit like it kind of like grabbed everybody's attention. You feel me? Like everybody, like I'm talking about Chicago. The shit went state to state overnight. And then, from there, I just started realizing like, yo, nah, like this shit could work, like let me try this out. Like, let me take this a little bit more serious than how I was taking it before,
That's what's up. And what made you want to make the Big Ops record though? Was it like the classic 50 Cent How to Rob thing, or was it more of the interest in what Chief Keef and all them had going on?
Nah, it was more like a kind of raw thing, like, you feel me? And it was a response, to be honest. Like, nobody really, like, I don't know if people know that. Like, some people probably tuned in, but it was kind of like a response, Somebody said something that I ain't like, and I felt like he wasn't supposed to be talking like that. So I made a response. And that person knew who I was, but a lot of people didn't type shit. So it's like, I wasn't really into, like, the social medias and all that like that until the music started going viral. And then that's when it was like, like now you gotta have this social media. You gotta get this, bro. You like, I'm still learning how to even, talk like with people and stuff like that. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if this was actually before that, prior to you getting involved with music, but can you tell me about going to trial and facing 30 years? A lot of artists don't come back from that. We've seen artists like Max B blow trial.
Yo, that's so fire, bro, that you asked that, because I never got asked that, like, in no interviews before. Like, and that's something that play a big part, like, in my life, like, a lot. Like, trial was one of the scariest things, Like, I had a case, and where, I could talk about it now, it's over with, but I had a case, basically, and a situation went wrong, and somebody that I thought wasn't going, fold or whatever type shit. It wasn't none of my mans, but somebody that I thought wasn't going to fold, they folded. And I took the case to trial. I had to pay lawyer. Shout out to Scott Celestin. You feel me? And that shit was crazy, It was offering me 12 years. I ain't take the 12 years. Then it went down to 6 years. I was gonna take the 6 years, like at the pre-trial hearing. And then from there, my family, everybody was like, nah, like I feel like you got it. He not gonna come to court. And the nigga showed up to court and all that. Came there. You feel me? But my lawyer was digging in their eyes as far as just like probable causes and like certain things like just went wrong in the situation, and they usually harassed me a lot. So that kind of worked on my behalf too. And the person wasn't credible to even like when we got up there, it was like he was saying a lot of silly stuff and shit, but you know, God was on my side and I got through that. That was one of the scariest moments of my life, though. I keep it a buck with you, because it's like, you know, you could be in the street, like you could get all that type of shit. But it's like that type of shit is different because they got you and your life is in the hands of people that don't really know you. You get what I'm trying to say? So if they persuade them enough, then you're out of here, you're cooked. And the judge let me know, because of my record, the judge let me know of rip, like, yo, I'm looking to give you the maximum on every charge here. Like, she told me that. Like, I'm looking to give you the maximum, like, you know, because if you blow trial, it's still up to the judge to give you what they want to give you. You know what I'm trying to say? She told me, like, yo, I'm trying to give you the max on everything. And that's what the max was basically holding. So I was facing some shit like that, you know?
So you did 13 months in jail. Was that the outcome of that situation, or was that something else?
No, yeah, that was something else. That was an indictment.
Okay.
That was Rockstar's indictment. That was 2012. You know, and then, you know, like with the trials and shit, you know, it ain't even like, for me, it ain't even like what you know. It's more so like what you could prove at the end of the day. So, you know, it's scary. Some people, you know their situations a little bit better. So it's like, excuse me, if you know your case, then it's like, nigga, if you know you got a chance, go for it. If not, don't even play around with them, you feel me? But the 13 months I did was for indictment in 2012. That was the Rockstar's indictment.
Going back to the trial, you actually beat the trial where you were facing 30 years?
Yeah, right, exactly, facts. I beat that case. That was something different from the whole, you know, 13 months. But I sat in jail for a little while for that one too. But it wasn't like, you know, the longest I sat in jail was for the indictment.
Crazy, man. Yeah, I was actually just reading about that whole Rockstar's indictment.
Yo, that indictment was crazy, Mikey. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, it was like, you know, they was charging us. You know, we was young too. So it's like, that's why I kind of moved the way I moved. Like, I learned from my mistakes, you know? So it's like, I've been knew then that, you know, social media and all that type of shit is like police and shit, you know, like, feel me? So it's like, I kind of like try to like shed that knowledge on people that don't know or act like they don't know. Like, yo, that shit for real, bro. Like, you shouldn't be posting that. Or like, yo, take that down. Like, you feel me? Like, I don't lead niggas the wrong way. I let niggas know. Like, yo, that shit is gonna, like, they got that. They looking at all that. You feel me?
Yeah, man. And, you know, you've been tested in your career, but what was it that kept you moving through everything, you know, and you finally started to take your music serious to the extent where, I mean, you had big ops out, so you saw that numbers were moving. Is that what made you take it more serious?
Yeah, hell yeah. And then the fact that, you know, because this is before I even had like investments and like even money, you know, bro. Like, we was broke. Like, we was broke doing this in the beginning. You feel me? Like, type shit. As far as like the money that we needed to put into this music shit, I didn't even understand at that time. Like, you feel me? I had to learn. All this shit was a learning experience, especially if you staying independent. But big ops definitely play a part in just like the motivation. Like, the people that was around me was making sure I didn't waste my talent. Like, sometimes, you know, I'm my own man, so sometimes I might get distracted and just be on some everybody. I feel how I feel. I do what I want to do, but they keep that there. Like, yo, look, nigga, like, you bugging. Like, feel me? You got the power to change everybody's life, not only your life. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Right. And, you know, one of the first times that I had actually come across you was when you were working with China Mac, and you guys were putting together your video shoot, and you were actually a part of a major arrest that took place in New York. 44 people were arrested during the video shoot, the single Mac Talk. Is that actually your first time that you were arrested, you know, filming a music video, doing something, participating within the music industry?
As far as it being public, like that, like how I was like all over, that shit was crazy. The news, yeah, but I've been arrested like on a video set before, yeah, just cause, you know, shooting videos in the hood, and the police know that you don't got a permit 9 out of 10 because they know we doing this shit or so how we do it. But it's like they'll come around, do they little shit, you know, they lock you up, shit like that. But that was the first time that I've been in that situation when it was like cameras and just like big like that much people and all that. Shout out to China Mac.
Yeah, major salute to China Mac. You've seen the video of you guys getting walked out, a lot of people getting walked out. China Mac says, Mac talk, not for back talk. You know, when the typical rapper would be saying like, yo, go get my album, or saying nothing, you know what I mean?
Right.
China Mac kept it G. How did you originally link up with China Mac?
I linked up with Mac through P Gutter. Shout out to myself, P Gutter, free P Gutter. I met Mac through P Gutter. You know, him and P Gutter was close friends and all that. So when Gutter got locked up, you know, before he got locked up, he brought me around China Mac, like, yo, this is my peoples, he good peoples. I want y'all to link in, he on the music shit, And then, you know, from there, me and China Mac started building our own relationship. And then when P. Gutter got locked up, we started hanging out and shit like that. And then we just put it together. Like, I had my son D-Rock with me. He was producing at the time and shit. He did that beat or whatever. And, all that shit was put together right there. Like, he played the beat. I liked it. It was a go. But I feel like me and Mac got a relationship, like, besides the music, you feel me, type shit. Like, that's my dogs. Like,
so a similar situation happened to Bobby Shmurda with GS9, getting picked up while they were at Quad Studio, I believe. How did you feel about that whole situation happening to Bobby, so soon after his run had begun?
Yeah, that was for real. Like, that was really crazy. I can't even imagine, like, to have that type of, like, clout and just, that situation, being in that kind of situation that you got with the music, and then you don't even get to really, like, enjoy it like that, you feel me? But he's blessed that he came home, he still got, the love, that he deserved and shit. Or facts, hell yeah. But that whole situation was crazy. I remember watching it and shit. Like, this before my music was even, like, viral. I was making music, but this was before my music was viral type shit. So a lot of people didn't hear it or whatever. But I definitely remember watching it, and it was crazy. Like, damn, I feel bad. That's crazy.
Can you take me back to where your relationship with GS9 and Bobby Shmurda started? Like, how did you guys first get the chance to meet and work together?
I met some of the GS9 niggas in jail when I was locked up, but I knew some from the streets, like, type shit. But some of the main people that the fans know, like, they names because he put in the music and shit. I met a lot of them while I was incarcerated. And real recognize real. We linked up. It wasn't even just on some, like, just gang shit. It was like, genuine shit type shit. And a lot of them came home before he came home, and we linked up in the town, and it was love in the town. You can meet a nigga in jail, and then in the town it'll be, weird, or like you ain't even familiar with a nigga, or a nigga don't keep his word. Like, that's niggas that I like, you feel me, type shit. Like, and then on Bobby, when I made my song, and when I did go viral, it wasn't shortly after I got home, and I told him in jail, like, yo, I'm coming home to turn up, you feel me, type shit. And when I came home, I did it, and and they basically, they was like, yo, Bobby like what's going on, like, he like this shit, he wants you to pull up. Like, he personally said, come pull up to visit me type shit, so we could talk business type shit. So, I went, I pulled up, like, and, me and him chopped it up, you feel me? I met him in jail before, but it wasn't on some, like, like, we couldn't really talk and shit. We was in a box or whatever, but, you feel me? I brought that up to him, he remembered and shit like that, you feel me? We chopped it up, or good nigga.
That's what's up, man. So Bobby had actually said he recorded Hot Boy in a $20 an hour session, man. And we know what that went on to become. How did the two of you actually record? Did he already have the setup where he's like, listen, let me hear the joint? Or
yeah, basically his manager at the time, he cause we was trying to figure that out for a minute, and then his manager at the time was like, yo, well, like, you got songs that's unreleased, you feel me, like, type shit. Like, why wouldn't you let him run through some of your songs? And Bobby was so official, he was like, yo, send him everything, put everything on his hard drive type shit. So he put, like, I had songs, like, exclusive shits, like, type shit, you feel me, that they did that was out type shit. But he sent the shit to me, and it was a song on there, you feel me? It was just like the energy. It was like, cause he had a lot of shit that was on there that sound like that town. You get what I'm trying to say? So it was like, I felt like I had to go with what was like the sound now a little. And it's crazy. The nigga had shit that you could hear now, like you could drop right now. And I picked the song out, and he let him, the manager let him know the song that I liked. And he was like, yo, I knew, like, he'll like some shit like that. And he was like, yo, but he wanted to do something new. He was, he wanted to drop some new shit type shit over the phone. But basically I ran with that. I'm like, nah, you feel me? We gonna get a chance to do that when you come home. Like, we ain't even gonna do no over the phone shit. You feel me? I'm gonna put my verse on that song, get it mixed, and I still got the song. You feel me? That shit in the cut type shit. Oh.
You did some work with Fetty Luciano. And while he was locked up, you had spoken very highly of him. Can you tell me about the two of you guys linking up once he was released? Was it something through email, or did you guys actually link in person?
Oh yeah, I probably linked them. I linked Fetty like a few weeks, like as soon as he came home type shit. But he's another one I was incarcerated with. And me and him, like, we probably had like the closest relationship, you feel me, type shit. And, you know, I kept my word, he kept his word. He came home, we linked up in the flesh a few times, you feel me? Like, I'll pull up over there, come check him. Yeah, hit me, we talk type shit, you know? Shit like that, hell yeah. Shout out to Fetty. I'm surprised he even, because, yo, he wasn't even on no music shit, really, you feel me? So that was a shocking for me, and it was a good look. It was like, yo, nah, yeah, hell yeah, hold it down. You feel me? To the bros come on type shit.
Right. You know, Fetty was the first one to come home, you know, Punch and everybody was showing him mad love. So I think it only makes sense. What can the people look forward to? Do you have a track title you can throw out there for the upcoming project with him?
Yeah, hell yeah. I got Lights. You know, that's one of the like his singles off the tape and shit. The mixtape is called Life Like Mine. The song is Lights or whatever. You could definitely look forward for the video and all that. The song fire. Like it's definitely a mixture of, you know, it's a sample mixed with, you know, the drill. Like it's crazy, you know. I know they're gonna like it. They're gonna love this one.
You know, Jezz, you had spoke on getting shot and getting right back to music. What did you think of Wack 100 saying that Bobby Shmurda took too long to release music after getting out of jail?
Wack is an asshole. Say some shit like that. Like that's just like, feel me? You don't know that nigga. Like you being if you a street nigga, then you should know certain shit. Like, but without even having to speak to a nigga, like you know, just like, you don't know what's going on. You feel me? He could have something going on with his business. It could be some like for you to say that is just like you just speaking, you just talking on shit you don't even know about. You feel me? You don't know what's going on. I'm sure he wanted to give his fans music as soon as he came out. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
It was dope how he did the record with Quavo and Rowdy Rebel. You know, he actually took a little bit of extra time in jail, so Rowdy didn't get, you know what I mean, an extra 5 years. So I was really thinking about it, and I was like, so what is the big deal of him waiting an extra 5 or 6 months to make sure the paper's right so Rowdy Rebel and Quavo could both be on his record?
Exactly. You get me? Like you don't know, feel me? You don't know what's going on. Like and that makes perfect sense. Like that's probably what was the reason, you feel me? Or
right.
Real loyalty shit. Like
yep. Why go out there to the world without Rowdy Rebel? You know what I mean? You always got to look out for your guy.
That and this is how the world look like y'all all got your own things going on, but they know y'all for you. You know what I'm trying to say? Like nigga, Bobby and Rebel, come on now, you feel me? So you got to give them that image when you, especially off that much time you did, like a lot of anticipation, like every move that you make got to be right. Like you can't make no wrong move. So it's like for him to say that, I was just some clown shit. Like.
But another thing I want to ask you about is Wack saying that Bobby Shmurda is doing too much dancing. You know, he said that they wouldn't have really jacked Bobby Shmurda if he was doing all that dancing before he went to jail. I wanted to get your take on that, Jezz.
He been dancing though. Like he been that type. Like that been his, you know, I've been got that energy from him. Like that don't take nothing away from you. Like I feel like niggas got this shit is a myth. Like niggas got all this shit just mixed up and confused. Like how that make you less of a man? You know what I'm trying to say? Like or like he's being himself. That's him. Like that's the best thing I can say. Like, you know, he having fun, he's dancing.
You know what I'm saying? Don't everybody start dancing now because of Bobby Shmurda. You guys can't
right.
do it as good as Bobby. You know what I mean?
Right. Everybody got now we could speak on a lot of these other dances that look a little crazy. You know what I'm trying to say? But it's like, well, I'm not even against none of that though. I think dancing is cool. Like that's good. Like type shit. Like, whoa.
So, Jezz, on one of your records on Big Ops America, you said, "I'm in the field, F all this rap shit, these dudes be acting." When it comes to the situation with NBA YoungBoy and Lil Durk, do you think they're doing it for the media in the industry? Have you been following that whatsoever?
Yeah, hell yeah. I definitely don't think it's no industry shit, but you know, well, I just, you know, I can't really speak. Like I wouldn't really speak on the situation because I don't know what they got really going on. But it's like, you feel me? My opinion as far as just like the whole situation is good for the culture. You know, like, because this shit was boring. This shit was washed up. Oh,
You know, I mean, I don't think NBA YoungBoy needs to diss these guys, Lil Durk, or I don't think he needs to mention King Von to, you know, get streams, but he's not staying away from it.
yeah, he been like kind of like a bigger artist. You know, this is helping Lil Durk in a way. Like you know what I'm trying to say. Like we all know that you might have more money or like you're gonna do more numbers and shit, but like the people's want to hear that pain. They want to hear what Durk saying. You know what I'm trying to say? This is time right now. Like, or he been putting music out and shit. Like, feel me? Durk hard. Word, that's my favorite rapper. So I've been in tune with his music before a lot of people was listening to his music. You feel me? And it's like he been had hits and shit. So he getting his turn right now. And I feel like, you know, YoungBoy probably came home, even though he know he might be a bigger artist, he still feels like this is not a walk through the park. Like, I can't play. Like, I gotta respond to this. Or like, I gotta, you know, I gotta entertain this. This nigga is the hottest out ever, like right now.
Yeah, and I feel like NBA YoungBoy is embracing being a bigger artist. That's why he's not scared to say Gucci Man's name or Little Baby's label.
Because if he wasn't in that position, he wouldn't be able to talk like that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like that should have injured him badly. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? But he's good, he's comfortable, he got money, he's in a situation where he like, nigga, I don't really even need a feature with nobody. So I really don't care. But at the same time, it's dangerous. That's why I say I just hope everybody stays safe. You don't know how certain people may take things that you say and shit. You gotta watch what you say. You feel me?
Definitely appreciate the comment on that. So I had heard you on Mel's TV speaking on your new project, and you said that you had a song with Maino. Can you tell me about working with Maino?
Yeah, that song actually was on my project that I released, the first EP that I released, you feel me, called Jesus or whatever. The song was been, yeah, the song was been recorded. You know, I just kind of like wasn't really like into like doing the video at that time because of the timing and like, you feel me, like I said, the sound. Like I was on some hardcore drill shit, so you get what I'm trying to say? So I felt like the song wasn't even like a drill song, but it's drill because it's me. You know, I'm gonna get my swag, but I'm big on like timing for shit. Like I'm big on that. Like as far as like when this come out, when that come out, like I don't just be trying to just fly. And that right there makes people think that I'm not being consistent. So I'm kind of just trying to, you know, find a rhythm for it and blend it in type shit. But the song with Maino is dope. It's definitely called Old Boy. I'm actually shooting a video to it on the 26th or whatever, you feel me? I got World Star Whale shooting or whatever, so, you know, well, we about to go up.
All right, that makes sense. That makes sense with the whole thing. I was going through the Jesus. When did the Jesus project release?
That was 2020. Jesus came out 2020, you know. That was kind of cause I felt like I was rapping for a while and people, you know, like a lot of songs wasn't out, so it didn't have a date on it. And like I had music, like I really rap. So I had music that I know for sure I could drop now. Like I made then, but I could drop now. But at that time, I felt like I owed a tape to my fans and my supporters, you know, like, nah, I'm not gonna just keep dropping singles on them. I'm gonna give y'all these songs that's in my email right here that's fire. You feel me? I ain't holding out no more type shit. To keep it a buck with you. And I just, you know, I put the tape together with Sean or whatever and shit. Up Top Music Group. You feel me? We put the tape together and the shit fired. But I feel like it went over people's heads a little type shit. It was a little bit too industry type shit. You feel me? Like the sound that I was going for then, I was supposed to just stay on my drill shit. You know what I'm trying to say? Stick to the whole like little drill sound and shit, because that's what made people really like to say, because I know I could rap more. Like I could do more than that. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, it's kind of like a crazy situation where you just got to know how to balance it. You got to balance it out the right way. You feel me?
Did you get a chance to tell Maino about your vision for the New York drill style, or was he already in tune with it?
Nah, yeah, he kind of like already in tune was like going on as far as like with the whole Brooklyn drill, New York drill, like, you know, Maino be outside type shit. So he kind of know what's going on. He knew who I was. I knew who he is, obviously, you feel me? So.
Right. So take me into that. How did that initially come together with Maino? That cosign is major.
Yeah, hell yeah. My manager basically was arrested with him, and he was arrested with his manager, I think, or like one of his peoples and shit, you know. And you know, at that time, I didn't even know my manager, so it wasn't even like nothing that was planned in jail or nothing type shit. But it was kind of like, you know, off the love. When he came home, you know, he told him, "Oh yeah, I know who he is. You know, I do a song type shit." And you know, he put it together like that. I never met him or nothing like that yet. You feel me? But we spoke on the phone and shit. So you feel me? That shit is like, you know, that's a major cosign. I definitely appreciate it and shit. Bro. And then now, look how I said before that I'm big on timing, because at that time I felt like it was like, you know, Maino got the Lobby Boys out right now, you feel me? Everything, look how life work. You know what I'm trying to say? And I never been a nigga to like try to capitalize off nobody's shit, but it just all makes sense. I got my own shit going on. I got millions of views too, you feel me, type shit, but I definitely appreciate it. Like this is something good for the culture, you feel me?
Exactly, man. Mano is, of course, a member of the Lobby Boys with Jim Jones. How do you feel about that whole movement and what they've
Fire,
got going on?
fire. That shit is fire, you feel me? And I feel like for hip hop, that shit is like, you know, just for the shit, it's like, it's from New York. That shit is legendary, like right now. For that to happen, like, it's like, you feel me? Like, I just came outside one time for the really.
So Waka Flocka was originally from New York. As we know, Frenchie has deep roots here. Can you tell me about Waka Flocka reaching out to you, though? I heard you mention it.
I mean, that shit was through Bodell. Like he's from the rap, and he was like with Waka Flocka, like when I first made Big Ops, like 2016 and shit. You feel me? And I actually think he shared it or commented or something. It was something like with the song. I really don't remember. I didn't keep really much contact, but he showed love. Like nah, you feel me? Like yo, shorty snapping, like he going crazy type shit. Or and at that time, that's when the drill music, that's when your previews was going viral. Like it was previews. Like you could have a literally 30-second preview and your shit have 500,000, you heard? Like these niggas don't know. Like the shit, that time and that whole era was just different. It was just different from what's going on now. You feel me? I'm glad that niggas kept it going and shit, you know, word, the whole sound, because a lot of people was against it in the beginning. You know, they was trying to do the whole, oh, y'all trying to sound like Chicago, or like, yo, this is Chicago, and like, you know, but it's like, nigga, everywhere, it's wild everywhere, like, type shit. Like, you know, they got their own way of doing their shit, and I feel like we got our own way of doing it. You feel me?
So when was this actually, and how did Waka reach out to you? Did he come meet you in person, or was it just a phone call?
Yeah, hell yeah, it was a FaceTime, and it was through Bodell. Bodell linked it up, and he was like, yo, because he's from Chicago, so he got in tune, because when I made the song, it went viral, and the shit went viral overnight. The next day, I had motherfucking all the Chicago niggas, Little Mister, all of them, like, yo, Famous Dex, everybody like, yo, you can't come out here, So at first, I'm like, yo, like, like, I'm like, yo, you feel me, bro? I'm from New York, so it's like, I know who these artists is, but it's like, you talking about? Then I start really paying attention to like what they was talking about and shit. And I'm like, nigga, I'm not taking nothing down. Like, nigga, like, what you talking about? Like, I don't care how you feel. Like, and if we can't come out there, y'all can't come out here. It was like that type of mentality, you feel me? And then, you know, Bodell was kind of somebody, you know, that whole weight out there and shit. He was like a voice or whatever. I never really knew who he was and shit. But you feel me? He reached out to me, you know, he gave me some advice. And he was like, you know, I could tap you on with this person and that person. Then he was like, yo, Waka with your shit. Waka said your shit was hard, shit like that. I'm gonna put y'all niggas on the line together, you know, y'all could put it together, shit like that. And then we spoke, you know, and I just feel like we ain't go forward with it.
Yeah, because Waka was doing some business with, you know, he was working with Uncle Murda and Rod Diggs, so he was taking some interest in New York talent.
Yeah, hell yeah, facts. So Waka, I ain't gonna hold you. That was I was Waka hard. Like his music, my niggas know, like, hell yeah, like Flocka go hard, you heard?
Yeah, man, I was going to ask if anything ever materialized with Waka, because I know his mom is, you know, one of the most powerful women in the music industry. French Montana went out to work with her, Nicki Minaj, you know, all different types.
Right, hell yeah, facts. Gucci, few people, right.
So, yo, can you tell me about meeting Pop Smoke?
I met Pop Smoke through D-Rock and shit, you feel me?
Yep, the
cool nigga. Word. I met Pop Smoke years like before, like the whole like him rapping. I ain't even think he was on some rapping shit. Feel me? This is when I was coming outside to shoot my beds and shit. You feel me? And my boy D-Rock that produced the Mac Talk song and shit. You know, he produced One Blood and all that. True with the Game. He basically he brought him around like family wise. You feel me? Like he was like, yo, you know, this my little nephew and shit, he cool, feel me? You know, Pop Smoke was a cool nigga, like I said. So I pulled up to a video. It wasn't even my video shoot that time though. It was D-Rock's video shoot. And I pulled up and I met him, you know, in person and shit. And, you know, we vibed out. We never really like stayed in tune with each other. You know, he's from the floor, so I'm from the east. So it kind of like, you know, it it wasn't never no beef, but you know, I was doing my thing type shit, and he was doing his thing. And then I started seeing like his songs and shit popping up and him going viral, and I'm seeing vids and like pictures. I'm like, yo, I got a picture of that night. I'm like, yo, I got pictures and shit. Like, I look. I'm like, you feel me? I spoke to my son D-Ray, he like, yeah, cuz, you know, cuz trying to take the music shit serious. I'm like, yo, that's crazy, like, type shit. I think we spoke one time, like, when he was, like, lit type shit, but we never, like I said, we never really got up and finished it off and all that. You know, it be like that, though, when you doing what you doing and, you know, a nigga is a big artist and shit, like, the timing is just, you know, timing is crazy, you feel me?
Yeah, man, that kind of sounds like Fetty Wap a little bit, you know what I mean? You know, but just from the way you explained that, in your opinion, what was it about Pop Smoke that made him stand out and blow up the way that he did?
Definitely his voice. Like his voice was the first thing. Like when I heard it, it was like you gotta think now, you got a bunch of his mini me's out here, you feel me? And it's like that's what's up. Like, you feel me? Like you left a stain, you feel me? But I said that to say like that was like unique, you feel me? Type shit. And then you know, he had it like mixed with the drill. It was kind of like a UK, like that shit was just crazy. And then I started like really tuning in, like, nah, I started appreciating his music more. Like, yo, nah, this nigga is really a star. Like, he making good songs, hooks, all that. Like, you feel me? He was doing his thing for real. That shit is a sad situation. Wow.
Yeah, at a certain point, it became evident that he was a timeless artist, you know?
Yeah, bro. And I start tuning in. I'm like, nah, hell no, they violated. Like, this nigga really, you feel me? Like, was dope, like, type shit. Like, whoa, that shit was crazy.
Facts. R.I.P. to Pop Smoke, and I appreciate you sharing that, man. So, I want to ask you, man, can you explain to me how the issues with 22G's started out? Is it more of a competition over the drill style of music?
Yeah. I never knew them. Like, I don't know them niggas, you feel me? Type shit. They don't know me, you feel me? But it was like, you know, at that time, it was like the music was like influencing like a lot of other people, like type shit, to just do silly things and say silly shit. And it was just like toxic. Like, that's how it was like toxic, you feel me? It was fun though. It was hella fun, but you feel me? I never knew him. I never seen him, none of that type of shit like that. You feel me? And he basically, you know, he picked a side and, you know, type shit. They started talking they shit and, you know, I was talking my shit back type shit. You feel me? And then it got on some shit like, you know, just you being in the streets is just like, nigga, at the end of the day, I'm gonna protect myself. So, feel me? If I see you and whatever happens, it happens type shit. You feel me? It's whatever, niggas take it. You feel me? One of those. Or
Can you take me into releasing the majorly spun record, No Twirl Zone? Why did you decide it was time to release that song?
it's crazy. That song was put together through Leaf and shit. You feel me? But Leaf, I met Leaf at the Big Ops video shoot. Leaf pulled up over there type shit, and we basically got each other contact. And then he linked up with Ace Number 5 on his own time. And then, you know, they came to me like, yo, bro, you know, he kept trying to reach out, you know, type shit to me. Like, yo, I got a song for us, you feel me? But at the time, I'm doing my thing, you feel me? So it's like, but I kind of was like listening to his shit, you feel me? I don't think he really had nothing really, but he was like letting me hear shit that he was gonna record and shit. And, you know, I was like, yo, feel me? Like, now we gonna do it, and I wasn't brushing him off. I just was doing my thing, you feel me? Type shit. So one day the nigga, I'm chilling with my boy Trap and shit, and we in the crib, and the nigga, he called. He was hitting me up and shit. He was like, yo, bro, I want to go do that shit right now. Like, you feel me? Like, I got money for you. Like, if you want that, nigga, like, what's up? Like, he was on it, you feel me? He was dedicated for that shit. Like, yo, I need you on this, nigga, like, right now, like, type shit, you feel me? And then I actually played it again. And when I played it that time, it just hit me a little different. You feel me? I'm like, nah, like, my son heard it. He was like, nigga, if you don't put some shit together for that right now, nigga, you wildin'. That's, you feel me? Like, that's a sound, like, nigga, that's it right now. So I ain't gonna lie to you, I swear to God, you can ask any nigga that I'm with. I wrote that shit in like 10 minutes. That ass, like 10 minutes, word. And it's crazy because those be the ones that certain people like seem to like more. You know what I'm trying to say? Or like those songs, I pay attention to that. Like a lot of the shit I did effortlessly is like, feel me? The ones that people really like. Big Ops was another one. That was just me speaking real shit. Like that was like me like really just talking, and then shit went viral. And people, like, it was kids, youth, everybody rapping and shit, and I'm like, damn, I don't want nobody to get hurt, you feel me? Because like, this shit going on, but it's like, well, my intentions wasn't that, you feel me, type shit, to put it out and make people get hurt, but it was like, oh, that shit grabbed a lot of people's attention. But before that, I wasn't even rapping on some shit like this. I just was rapping about fly shit, you feel me, cars, shit like that.
So when you went to the record, it was already called No Twirl Zone?
Nah, hell no. We came up with the name and shit after that and all that. It was just like, we was trying to think of something that stick out type shit, you know, like Big Op stuck out crazy. Like, that was like, feel me? Type shit. So we was just kind of like looking for some shit like that, you know, and, you know, Leaf came up with the final decision, like, yo, nah, yeah, that shit, hell yeah, like, No Twirl Zone, you feel me? Well,
And No Twirl Zone, is it arguably bigger than Big Ops, or is it obviously bigger than Big Ops?
I mean, as far as like, I feel like just because of the timing it came out, like, type shit, it came out after. Like, a lot of them songs I didn't space out OD. Like, it was like on some shit. So, you know, people was tuning in more and more as you go. People like, oh, it's the follow-ups. Like, oh, this is the follow-up for this? Like, oh, shit. That's why I feel like I gave, like, a lot of niggas careers and shit. Like, I gave niggas juice because, you feel me? Like, all of this shit, when you open the door, now it's like, as long as you got good, you know, good talent is always going, niggas gonna know that. You feel me? Like, it could be, you could be a op, nigga. If this shit is hot, it's hot. You feel me? When I was putting my shit out, it was niggas that was coming through after, and they was getting paid, like, people was paying them attention because of just the whole reason of me making this what niggas is paying attention for. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, but some people, you know, they act like they don't see that, or like they don't try to give me that type of credit, but it's like, I don't never cry or complain about that. I just keep doing my thing, you feel me, putting my music out, shit like that, you feel me? I got my fans that's here with me forever, you feel me? Shout out to them, like, oh, I got a lot of new music coming out. It's about to get crazy again.
I want to ask you, man, what do you make of Nas Blicky deciding to change his name after everything that he's been going through?
Guys, I ain't gonna lie. That might be the best thing for him to do, son. If he is into it like that, like the shit that I see that's going on and shit, he might just need to change his name and shit, and just leave that shit alone. It's just can happen to anybody at the same time, you feel me? So it's like, at the same time, it can happen to anybody. But, or if he in those type of situations, you know, he definitely need to do what's better for him.
You know, 22G's had said that artists need to dumb down their lyrics when it comes to dissing other rappers. I wanted to get your take on that as well. You know, dissing other rappers, especially dead ops. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I never really heard him. Yeah, I never really heard him like say that before. But if he did say that, like, yeah, I agree on that. I heard it. You feel me? Especially because like this shit is like an easy indictment. You gotta know how to talk. You gotta know what you're doing, son. Like, you just gotta know how to do this shit. You feel me? Like, you can't just wake up and just want to do that shit. Like, And then niggas wondering why it's all these indictments and these niggas is, oh, somebody snitched on me though. You told her yourself. Nigga, you told, nigga. Like, you feel me? Type shit. So it's like, I just feel like, but I do feel like it's a sacrifice too. Like, this shit is a sacrifice. Like, you might have to, like, if that's what's working, like, you might just have to be that type of nigga. But it's sad because if you really not living that life, you got to keep up with an image that's not you. You feel me? So it's like, if you really not living that and you know, nigga, you not moving how you saying, how you moving and shit, and then it's like, but you got to keep up with an image because this is what got people attention and shit. That shit could get very crazy, you feel me, for you type shit. So, I definitely agree on that. Like, dumb it down the music, you know, keep niggas out the business and shit like that. Everything ain't for that. Like, if it's just entertainment, friendly competition, it's music, you feel me? But if it's some personal shit, don't put that shit in there type shit, feel me? Unless you want some, yo, I don't care. I'm doing this shit for niggas to get signed. You feel me? Like, we gonna get on and then we going from here. We gonna take whatever come with it. You feel me?
So, geez, I want to talk about what you have coming up in the near future, man. Music as well as shows. I know you're heavy on that tip. Anything, man. Do you have any movies coming up, man? YouTube shows. Talk to me.
I definitely work around with some movies though. For me. No, like I said, I got the Life Like Mine project coming out. I got some other shit that I'm working on after that. You feel me? Like it's kind of gonna be like a deluxe, you feel me, type shit for that one. You feel me? Because I know this gonna move them and shit. But I got features. Like I got a few big features. I ain't even gonna say all the features, but you know, Maino. I got the shit with Maino. Obviously, I got the shit with Bobby. You feel me? Type shit in the cut. You know, I got music. I'm still dropping music. I dropped a song called No Sleep. You feel me? Recently, type shit. All this shit is on my YouTube channel. What you gotta do is tap in. You feel me? Type shit. Jezz Gasoline World.
All right, man. I appreciate you for joining me today for this exclusive interview. Jezz Gasoline, Mikey
You already know.
Star.
You already know, Brody. I appreciate you. You heard? Wow. King of Drill, that's me, you heard?